Hello everyone, this is Joe Sport from Fantasy Team Assist. I wanted to make one more video uh, about this lineup I'm putting together. I'm going to post it on my website so everyone can see it. It's going to be a Fanduel. I've got a cash version and I have a GPP version. Alright, let's go right into it. Quarterback Derek Carr at home versus the Vikings. Bridgewater may not play. He's going through the concussion protocol, and the NFL is really finicky about that. So if Bridgewater doesn't play, the offense may not be able to move the ball as well. The chemistry may be off, so that'll be more possession for the Raiders. As it is, even if Bridgewater plays, the Vikings are predicted to lose by 2.5 points, and the Raiders are predicted to score 22.5. So that's about 3 touchdowns and a field goal, maybe 50% chance of a field goal. So definitely Derek Carr. Price tag isn't bad. He had a really good game last week. And then moving on to the running back, D'Angelo Williams, still relatively cheap for the carries and his role that he has in that game for the Steelers. He's going against the Browns. They give up the most yards per game, and the Steelers are predicted to score 22.75 points, and they're favored by 4.5 points. So they're going to have the lead. So that in turn, what does that mean? That means they're going to be running the ball once they have the lead, and D'Angelo Williams is going to be the guy. And against that sorry run defense, D'Angelo Williams and the price tag is a great pick. Now I've got Mark Ingram. He's going against the Washington Redskins. Now the Washington Redskins, I know he's going to be away. But as it is, the Saints, their offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Defensively, that's another question, but they're slated to score 26.25 points. They're favored by only 2 points. So even if they do have the lead, they're going to be running the ball. And even if they do lose the lead, they're not going to throw the game plan away of running the ball. Ingram is the guy. He is going to be their main back, and he's going to see the majority of the workload. So I like Ingram, and the price tag isn't much. And then my first wide receiver, Amari Cooper. Obviously the Derek Carr stack. Again, going against the Vikings, and 22.5 points, and they're favored by 2.5. Amari Cooper. I know Crabtree had a better week last week, but Amari Cooper still put up, I think, 19 fantasy points on FanDuel. So, and his price tag isn't crazy. I really do think that Amari Cooper is going to have a really good game. And Julian Edelman going on the road, going against the Giants. Tom Brady has been throwing the ball like a madman. Now he's going against the Giants. There are 2 teams that he hates. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants. And he is going to be relentless. He is not going to stop. Even if they're up by 30 points, he's going to continue throwing that ball, and he's going to go for the jugular. So with that being said, they're predicted to score 31.5 points. Okay? So Julian Edelman, Gronkowski is a good option, but he's just so expensive. In order for him to make value, he's got to score like 30 points, and then he just makes value. At least Julian Edelman, all he has to do is score 20 points, and he makes value. And anything above that is gravy. So I think that's a great pick, and Edelman could blow up. So moving on, Allen Robinson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be away. They're going to Baltimore. But Baltimore has been very suspect defensively. The Ravens are favored by 6 points. So they're favored by 6 points. But as it is, the Jaguars are supposedly going to score, predicted to score 21.25 points. So about 3 touchdowns. Now, their number one wide receiver is Allen Robinson. And with them losing by so much, they're going to be forced. Blake Bortles is going to be forced to throw the ball a lot. So I like the matchup. I like the fact that they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So throwing Allen Robinson in there. Then at tight end, I got Reed from the Washington Redskins, who they're favored against the... No, I'm sorry. They're going against the Saints. They're at home. They're predicted to score 24.25 points, but they're the underdog by 2 points. So it's not going to be a landslide or anything like that. But I think Deshaun Jackson, just coming back from injury, last week he didn't. I know he had a tough matchup, but he didn't perform as well as I thought he would. So I still think that Reed is going to be the number one option. He's a tight end, but plays like a wide receiver. So with that, I think if that does turn out to be a shootout, and as it is, they're slated to score 24, predicted to score 24 points. So it can be even higher. So definitely like that, and the price tag is great. Then Graham Gano as my kicker versus the Titans. They are favored. The Carolina Panthers are favored by 5.5 points. So what does that mean? That means that they're not going to be having to go for fourth down conversions, and they don't have to necessarily get into the end zone. They're predicted to score 24.25 points, so they can go ahead and kick that field goal because they already have the lead. They or if they're losing, they may not be losing by all that much. So definitely, so they may go ahead and kick that field goal versus having to score the touchdown because they're only losing by 3 or maybe 7 points. They'll get the 3 and then try for the touchdown next possession. So definitely like that pickup. The price tag is right. And then last but not least, I have the Raiders defense against the Vikings. They're at home. The Vikings may not even have Teddy Bridgewater. And even if they have Bridgewater, no big deal. They are underrated against their run defense is underrated. Adrian Peterson, I understand, he's a beast. But they're at home, and I definitely like the fact that they're scoring. They're predicted to, the opposing team, the Vikings, are predicted to only score 2 touchdowns. 20 points. So at the most 3 touchdowns. So, and in between all of that, Bridgewater doesn't play. Even if Bridgewater plays, I definitely see the Oakland Raiders defense getting in some sacks, maybe an interception. So definitely like the fact that they're at home. And they're only predicted to give up 20 points. All right. Now, GPP. Okay, the GPP version of this lineup is Derek Carr, Jonathan Stewart. Okay, Jonathan Stewart. He's not in the other lineup. So Jonathan Stewart to save some money. So I'm taking out Ingram, putting in Jonathan Stewart. His value is really high because he's predicted to score high, and his price tag is low. Going against the Titans, the Carolina Panthers are predicted to score 24.25 points. They're favored by 5.5 points. So they have the lead. They're going to be running the ball, and they don't want Cam Newton running the ball getting hurt if they don't have to, especially if they're winning. So what's going to happen? They're going to hand the ball off to Jonathan Stewart, and he has seen a pickup in carries, and he has been productive. Okay, second running back, DeAngelo Williams, the same. Amari Cooper, that's the Derek Carr, Amari Cooper stack. Julian Edelman, again. Then with that extra money that we saved at running back, now this is GPP, so we want to go big on wide receiver. We want that big blow-up wide receiver game. That's A.J. Green against the Texans. Monday Night Football. They are predicted to score 29 points. I think they're the highest predicted... the second highest. Patriots are number 1. Second, so we have Edelman, the highest predicted score team. And then you have AJ Green, the second highest, 29 points, favored by 11 points. All right. So moving on to Reed, Washington Redskins. I like Reed. And then Boswell. This is where we change things up. Boswell versus the Browns. The Steelers. He's the kicker for the Steelers. Steelers are predicted to score 22 3/4 points, favored by 4.5 points. So they're favored. They have the lead. They don't have to go for fourth down. They can get ahead and kick the field goal. They don't necessarily have to get into the end zone. They already have the lead. Or if they're losing, as I said, they're not losing by a lot. That's what you want. You want a guy, a kicker that you don't want a losing team kicker that they have to go for it on fourth down. They can't settle for the field goal. Okay, then the defense I like here is, again, the Steelers. I like the Steelers going against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, I don't know if Manziel's going to play or if McCown's is going to play. Regardless, whoever plays, it's the Steelers love to blitz a lot. I think it's, regardless of what quarterback plays, I think it's a great spot for the Steelers defense to show up and put up some big points. Vegas predicts them as the Browns putting up 18.25 points. I think it's the lowest predicted score. Steelers are favored by 4.5. So definitely consider the Steelers as a good pick at the defense slot. Okay, so if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Check me out. Check out my website, fantasyteamassist.com. I'm going to put the link in the description. And go to the website. I have other lineups. I have a DraftKings lineup there. And I've got a depth chart. I've got a bunch of stuff there. So go ahead, check it out. And good luck. Oh, and in the comment box, go ahead, ask me any questions, any suggestions, anything you like. Feel free. I'll try to get to any questions that you may ask as soon as possible. All right.